Welcome to Loopthink Insights. Chris J Snook sitting here today with Aaron Bata, the head of customer experience at Tuft Needle. If you haven't heard of Tuft Needle, check them out at tn.com. Thanks for coming in. Well, actually, I'm coming in. Thanks for inviting me into this amazing. I feel like I'm in a brand new house.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, this is great. So I want to get into a lot of things today. We're going to talk about how you guys decided to do mattresses of all things, right? And what you're doing in that. We're going to talk about culture, and we'll just have some fun over the next 30 minutes. So
sounds great.
So your role is head of customer experience. Tell us what that means.
So as head of customer experience, really what I am responsible for is making sure that we're hiring a team that can give the kind of customer experience that we're looking to provide for our customers, and also making sure that we can continue to really push the envelope when it comes to customer experience, and find new and exciting ways.
So customer experience is the buzzword and of the day, and we're sitting here because of that. But you guys have done a lot of hiring lately. If your role is to figure out who you're going to hire and why and how, and you've gone. You're right around 150 people now.
Yeah, just under 150 right now.
And you're coming up on your 5th year.
Yes.
So so that's pretty. And then last year, how many people have you hired in the last 12 months?
I think in the last 12 months we've basically doubled. January 2015, I think we had around 70 or so people. Wow. So it's been a lot of growth.
So let's talk about, for those who aren't familiar with the brand or the company, it's a really interesting story. So let's talk about how the company got started. Who started the company? How did you guys get here?
Sure. So the company was started by our two co-founders, JT Marino and Dahi Park. Mm-hmm. And really the reason that they started the company is pretty funny story. It happened pretty accidentally. JT had just gotten married, mm-hmm. and he purchased a mattress. He spent, I think, something like $3,000 on all the bells and whistles mattress.
The marriage mattress.
Yeah, just really sunk a whole bunch of his life savings into that mattress. He went to a store, tested it out for about 10 minutes, decided that was the one that he liked, and that's the one he chose. And then over the course of the next few nights and weeks, decided that the mattress just wasn't working out for him. He was having trouble sleeping through the night, and he tried to return it. He was told when he bought the mattress that he had a certain amount of time to return it, and they put him through so many hoops and ultimately said that he was not eligible to return the mattress, which
So he bought this from, was it a mattress store or was it like a big retailer? I mean, $3,000 mattress is no joke.
This is from a mattress store.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
We're not going to name that. Right. And so he couldn't get rid of it.
Couldn't get rid of it. And then from there, what he decided to do is he'd spent so much money on this mattress. As a software developer, he was very interested in how things are made, how things are put together, what things are actually made of. So he cut it apart and took a look at what all of the components were made of. Mm-hmm.
So he literally cut, we're going to talk about this in a little bit, this is you guys, but he literally took a knife to it.
Cut into it just like that. And
only what an engineer would do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and really saw that when he spoke to a few people that he knew in material sciences, that these materials did not justify that $3,000 price point. And he'd had a terrible experience. So him and Dahi, they'd been working together for quite some time. They talked about this, and they essentially both discussed their experiences with mattresses. They put together a hate list, which basically means all the things.
We've seen that hate list. We'll make sure we share that with everybody. It's pretty funny.
So it's pretty much all the things that they hated about their mattress buying experiences.
Right.
And they said, if we can just fix a few of these things.
So they mapped, in some ways, they mapped a customer journey without calling it that. I mean, the hate list essentially was, here's the different pain points, mm-hmm. which anyone, you know what customer journey mapping looks like. But, for people that have not done that, maybe it's just as easy as starting with your hate list, right? What are the pain points? And then looking at, can we attack and fix some of those? So the hate list was and it's part of your DNA now. It's literally part of the culture, and it's in the store, and even customers can see it. It's pretty cool. So it became a branding element, even though that wasn't the original intent for it.
Yeah, and it's really become a big part of our culture as well. because we to this day still look at kind of everything as what's the problem, what can we fix, what can we do better.
So they were in Palo Alto or the Bay Area when this was all happening, right?
So when this was all happening, they were both in Palo.
But the company's headquartered here in Phoenix. I'm wearing this shirt proud because it's Phoenix Startup Week as we sit down here and do this interview. But you guys have had a big role in this ecosystem, both as a case study of a fast-growing company being built here. But why did they move? I mean, they were in the heart of Silicon Valley. They were engineers. They were entrepreneurs. They were going to start a mattress company. I guess you could do that anywhere. But why? What was that all about? Why did they move?
Sure. So there were a lot of reasons. At the time that the company was founded, JT was in Palo Alto, and Dehi was splitting his time between Phoenix and Palo Alto. Okay. He's got family connections out here. And really, it was a big decision in the beginning. Where do we start this company? Is it going to be Palo Alto? Is it going to be Phoenix? And really looking at all of the great things that Phoenix does have to offer, low cost of living, really high quality of life. Anything is within a couple hours. You can get skiing, desert, whatever you want to say, and also just having so many schools around. Got a really highly educated workforce.
Right.
So it just made so much sense to start.
So they packed up literally everything, including their $3,000 non-returnable cut-up mattress.
I think at that point he'd gotten rid of the mattress.
And so, all right, so you guys started here. You're headquartered in downtown Phoenix. You just opened up a new place because you're growing.
Yeah,
that's exciting. And we're sitting in your Scottsdale. This is kind of an experiment, right? This is a retail kind of experiment that you guys are now playing with and seeing where that goes. You were your first year out or your second year out, you guys were the #1 rated mattress on Amazon, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah.
So #1 rated means the most 5-star reviews, or what does that mean?
So they've got a complicated algorithm that I think would take probably a long time for anybody to explain, and I probably need to have it explained to me too.
Yeah, but you win it. But we won it. Right?
But basically, it's just the highest amount, the most customer feedback out of 5 and 4
And the way that you guys got that, again, when I think of mattresses, and I've bought several, some of which I actually think were off Craigslist or I took out of a neighbor's house because they were going to throw it out, right? So not too proud, but those are the guest room ones. But most people, when they buy mattresses, I don't think they think about customer experience, right?
Hopefully now they do.
Well, you guys you're almost kind of making it a thing, right? Like but it's not as if there was a customer experience that people were present to. I think most people, like you said, they walk into a store, they both lay down, they roll around for 3 minutes. It's kind of weird and awkward because people are looking at you, and then they go, well, we're going to buy that one or we're not. There's people that have bought them out of storage units, because they've gotten some expensive brand. We'll leave them nameless. But, for half off. I don't think, it's interesting that you guys have done so well because you've obviously struck a chord with people, or you wouldn't be at, I think you did 1 million your first year, 9 your second, 40 your third, and over 100 last year.
Yeah. It's been,
so that's, and no VC, no institute, this was a bootstrap deal.
Yeah, that was something that was really important to both JT and Dehi from the beginning and still is, having control over the decisions of the company and being able to make sure that we do stay customer focused and don't sacrifice that for just top line or bottom line.
Yeah. So this is the American dream, personified, right? Start a business, solve a problem, and then reinvest the profits, and grow it. It's an incredible story, and I think you're in a really competitive space. You're in multiple. You're in retail, you're in e-commerce, and then you're in mattresses. So you've got a tough job, Mr. Head of Customer Experience. Like, what do you focus on? Like, when you wake up every day, like, how do you measure that you're continuing to deliver that, and then you're going to improve on it tomorrow? Like, what do you care about? What are the metrics that you look at?
So there are a few, metrics that you can look at. Metrics never tell the whole story, but they get you a good part of the way there. So NPS is something that is very important to us. Yeah. We do use NPS.
Do you do eNPS as well? Employee Net Promoter Score, or just just an NPS on the outside?
So we do employee net promoter score when for actually a lot of things. We have a lot of different trainings that are available to employees. Most events and experiences, we do send out NPS surveys to people on the team just to see how everything went, how they what value they got.
When do you drop those NPSs? Because you, unlike a service business, which is typical of using NPS, where you may have dozens of accounts. I mean, you guys are talking about thousands of customers. Mm-hmm. So how do you facilitate the drops of those NPS? Do you do that quarterly? Do you do that annually? Or?
No, so we send out the first NPS sort of about a week after we ship the mattress. Okay. Because we do want people to have a few days to try it out. Yep. And then tell us how they like it. Are they promoters? Do they do the mattress? And then if they're not, it actually gives us a really good opportunity to reach out to them and ask how we can help. So
because you've given them a 100-day window, right, to return it.
Exactly. And anybody who isn't a promoter, so anybody who essentially scores us an 8 or lower, we will reach out to them and ask if there's anything we can do to improve their experience, or if they're not happy with the mattress, if we can help them return it.
Gotcha. So you don't make it hard for them to return it. I know your return rates are low. We'll because you're private, we'll keep that private, but they're very low considering that you make a mattress that serves the general market. Mm-hmm. You've decided to focus on that. You make all sizes, right? You make twins. Do you make doubles?
Yeah, we make essentially all the way from twin to California King.
We
don't make any custom sizes.
Right.
At this point.
Shaquille O'Neal, has to go make.
Yeah, or just have to curl up.
Yeah, spoon. Oh god, that's a bad visual. Anyway, back to so you make a general mattress, meaning that some people that need something special or something that elevates or whatever, they go somewhere else. But your return rates are really low from what you told me, compared to the fact that most people probably do think they need something special, and yet your percentages are lower than what I would think that would be. So and then your turnover's been really low. Yeah,
both of those have been really low. Talk about the return rate for a moment. A lot of that has been because we've taken that customer feedback and we've used it over time just to make little tweaks to the mattress. Gotcha. Really so we're listening to what our customers are saying, and we've seen great results that way.
So there's as we're looking at it, I mean, there was some innovation in how you make this. This is actually a cross section of the mattress. Yep. And there's no springs in this.
Nope.
So it comes in that box. A king mattress comes in that box.
Sure does. 44 by 19 by 19.
And someone or some machine obviously somehow compresses and air packs that.
Yeah.
And how long does it take when I open it up?
It's really immediate. It is a pretty cool experience to watch. You take your mattress out of the box, unroll it, cut off the plastic wrap, and you see it rise up really right away.
And then you can lay on it about 20-30 minutes, how?
So we always recommend that you give it just a couple hours to air out, right? With anything new. Yeah. But really, I opened mine up, and 10 minutes later I was sleeping on it. But we recommend a couple hours.
And do you need a box spring with it, or are you not worried about that? I noticed a lot of the ones around us here, don't have that, and it's thick.
No, so that was actually one of the important considerations when JT and Dahee were making the product, that it could be used on really any kind of frame. So if that frame is your floor, it's going to work on your floor. If that's just your bed frame, that's going to work. Obviously, it's going to work on box springs as well. But having a really versatile mattress was something that was really important.
So you guys are a very competitive price point. I think your King is
$750.
Oh, I was going to say $850. I thought it was $850. So $750. Good thing I didn't say that. But then I think about what other mattress companies don't have to do is they don't have to answer the phone, because I've probably owned 15 mattresses, counting guest rooms and whatever, and I've never called the mattress company. I don't look up Sealy, or I don't look up. Well, I couldn't even tell you where I bought half of them. So you guys though are hiring. The bulk of what you're hiring right now are customer experience, front end facing folks that are doing everything from chat to social media to phone, right? Interacting with your customer. And that's not free, right? That costs you guys money. You're at a price point where, I mean, God, like how much money were they marking these things up? Like how do you sell something for $750, thin margin or not, and then add a whole layer of customer service on it when the other guy's selling for $3,000 and doesn't have that?
We also got to think about their overhead. It's a totally different model. You've got these mattress stores. Sometimes seems like they're on every single block.
Right.
So you have just these tremendous rent expenses. The fact that you really don't have you don't see stores of the big mattress names.
Right.
They're sold through
sold through retail.
And so there's so many markups that go into it before you even get to the store, and then once you get there, you have a salesman who has a huge commission that's also raising the cost of the mattress.
So again, you guys looked at mattresses not only as something that is ubiquitous. No one wants to sleep on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
so everyone needs one at some point. It's not something they buy annually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they might buy one of these every maybe 10 years, 5 years. It depends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something. So you're always going to have new customers because people are always going to be moving into market or getting a new house or moving and want a new mattress. But you're not going to necessarily get a recurring customer on the mattress side. So I guess that begs the question, other than the referral opportunity of you treat me really well and I tell everybody in the world to go buy a mattress from you, why the investment, like the challenge of why the investment in customer experience when my lifetime value as a unit to you is not necessarily going to be 15 mattresses, right?
So I think that if we looked at customer experience and just the company like that, we wouldn't be here right now. The most important part of founding the company was really trying to solve a problem and make this experience better for customers,
mm-hmm.
and really putting customers as well as employees first. So I think that's why we've been able to grow, because we've had customers that really have been great promoters and have said, hey, this is going to be a different experience. Even people who have returned the mattress, they've been promoters as well. They've said this mattress didn't work
for them, but they liked the experience.
But the whole process was so easy. Maybe my parents are gonna use this mattress, or my best friend's gonna use this mattress.
So it's interesting. So I think the insight that I gleaned from that for everybody would be your brand experience is your customer experience, mm-hmm. and you can't decouple those, but you should and start thinking about decoupling your economic model from the investment model of good customer experience. Mm-hmm. What I mean is you can't look at yourself and say, well, we're not going to sell Chris 5 mattresses a year or 5 mattresses every 5 years. We're going to sell him 1. But if we make the investment to treat Chris at scale really well, our brand experience is our customer experience, and that will bring us more Chris's. So I think that's an interesting insight. Let's talk about people for a second.
Sure.
Tell me the difference between perks and benefits, and do you do both, or as it relates to your employees? Because I've met a lot of happy Tuft Needlers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you guys call yourselves, but that's what I just.
Yeah. we call each other a lot of things. So we call ourselves a lot of things.
That's nice.
So perks and benefits, those are definitely two different things. I think sometimes do get skewed and confused for each other. So your perks are things like free food in the office, ping pong table, standing desks, stuff like that. Things that are really fun and cool to have,
right.
and comforts. And that first impression in the office, especially when somebody's interviewing, you look around and you see this, especially if you're coming from more of a cubicle farm kind of place.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, this is a really cool place to work. So that is something that those are essentially what perks are. Benefits are really the long-lasting and meaningful things that an employee might not see on their first day, mm-hmm.
but
does make a huge difference in their employee experience. So it's things like having healthcare and dental care fully covered by the company. It's things like very substantial maternity and paternity leave. A vacation policy that is required. So we require at least 25 days from every employee across the board because we do think it's really important for people to recharge.
So you have to take that time off?
Yep. So
even like the CEO has to do that?
Oh yeah, well I'm not CEO.
No, I know, but I'm saying like you guys, like all the executives have to do that too?
Everybody really has to do it. And sometimes it's
what if someone wants to take 25 days off in a row?
So what we always say is do what's best for yourself, do what's best for Tuft Needle.
Yeah.
If taking 25 days off in a row is going to be what's best for you, and you're not leaving the company hanging, then
so there's a discussion.
Yeah. There's no real blanket policy.
So you don't have a vacation. You have a mandate that people must take at least 25 days off. Do you also have, a lot of companies now are doing, there's no vacation policy, right? Netflix was the one who made that famous, but like just take off when you need off. If you take too much time off, we'll throw you a goodbye party, right? Do you guys have a kind of open door policy there? Is like, as long as you're not harming the operation, like if you need a day or whatever, just go. We don't count days.
Yeah, so that's really actually how it started. Okay. So really our vacation policy is an unlimited vacation policy.
Right.
But what we found at companies like Netflix, and a lot of us came from other startups that had a similar unlimited vacation policy.
Yeah.
But what that turned into when you didn't actually have a set amount of vacation days is that unlimited just meant that nobody took any time.
Gotcha.
Because you're working with a lot of hardworking people, driven people who can tend to get competitive.
Yeah.
So you don't want to take that time off, which is why it's so important that we mandate, like, you have to take this at least 25 days off to recharge, to rest. Even if you don't think you need it now, it's something that we all need.
This week, as we were sitting down for this, you guys showed it to me. This week, Entrepreneur Magazine just ranked you guys number 1.
Yeah.
Was it? And what was it specifically for? It was related to culture, but.
So Entrepreneur Magazine ranked us number 1 in terms of it for culture for large companies.
Gotcha.
And for them, the distinction for large companies was companies over 100 people. So
awesome.
I don't know if I'd consider us large.
Well, fast growing.
Fast growing.
Getting larger by the second. So, well, what else is the thing that maybe we want to, as we wrap up this before we go to live Q&A on the webinar in the chat, what is the thing that you think people should know that they don't know when they know about how you guys as a collective have built your culture and also that culture of customers? Like, what have we not hit on yet that is if anything, it's a point that you think, is a good insight for other people to have?
I think that one insight that we've definitely come across is how important autonomy is when it comes to somebody's role and how that plays into the culture. If you give somebody, especially in customer experience, a lot of people will think of this, hey, here's a binder with a script, and when the customer says this, respond with that. And when you have that kind of an approach to customer service, customer experience, you're not going to be able to make those meaningful connections with customers. It's our customer experience team that is making those meaningful connections with customers and giving them that great experience. And when you give people autonomy to really use their judgment and decide what solution is best in any given situation, you're going to have happier people who do have more meaning in their work, and you're also going to have customers who become great promoters. Awesome. So I'd say that autonomy is something that we've found is super important.
That's awesome. That's a great one. Aaron, we're going to go to Q&A now, guys. So a couple takeaways. We've got hire right and treat them right. First, make out a hate list of everything in your industry that you think sucks and that you could do better, and then start attacking it. Make the investment, decouple customer experience investment from immediate ROI or even LTV, and tie it to brand. And then give your people autonomy, because once you've hired them right, turn them loose. So we're going to go to your questions now. It's been awesome. We'll stick around for the Q&A.
Sounds good.